That question isn't just a doubt. It's the silent scream of the human soul. It's the hammer that beats against the walls of your faith in the dead of night. Because the logic is brutal and unforgiving. If something created God, he is not the supreme creator. But if nothing created him, then he defies everything we know about reality. It is the paradox that either crowns him as God, or shatters the idea forever. But listen to me closely. That question is not poison. It is the key. That vertigo you feel isn't the end of your faith. It is the sign that your soul refuses to settle for small answers. You haven't hit a wall. You have found the doorway to a sacred mystery. On this journey we won't just walk. We will break through. I won't give you a simple answer. I will hand you a revelation that will shake your very concept of existence. Together, we will tear away the veil from the most feared and powerful name of God, the I Am, and you will understand why it is a declaration of war against chaos. We will step out of the prison of time to witness how God sees your birth, your tears, and your final breath in a single eternal instant. And we will bring logic to its knees, forcing it to confess why a creator without an origin isn't a contradiction, but the only possible answer. This is more than a video. It is a rite of passage. So, if you are here not out of curiosity, but because of a calling that burns within you, seal your commitment now. Write in the comments with all your intention. Today, I open my mind to the eternal. To find the answer, we must first get lost. Journey with me into an infinite desert. Feel the sun punishing the sand and the silence that screams of solitude. There, in the middle of nothing, is a man. He is not a king. He is not a prophet. He is a fugitive. An exiled prince named Moses, broken by the weight of his past, with stained hands and a future erased. A man who feels like a nobody. And then he sees it. Bush. A simple bush. Engulfed in flames. But it's a fire that doesn't consume. A fire that doesn't destroy. It is a living paradox. It is holiness made visible, breaking the laws of physics to announce that the laws of eternity have arrived on earth. And from the heart of that impossible flame, a voice calls him by name. A voice that gives him a mission that terrifies him, to set his people free. Moses, trembling not from the fire, but from the mission, cries out the most honest question of all. Who am I to do this? And if I go, and they ask me, what is the name of the God who sent you? What do I tell them? And the answer is not a name. It is a cosmic detonation that rewires reality. The voice doesn't describe itself. It doesn't limit itself. It doesn't define itself. It simply declares, I am who I am. Feel the weight of those words. He didn't say, I am the strongest or the wisest. Those are adjectives. He used the very verb of existence itself. Think about it. All the gods of antiquity, all the myths humanity has ever invented, Zeus, Ra, Osiris, they all have origin stories. They were born from other gods, they emerged from chaos, they fought for their power. They had a beginning. They are characters in a story. But this God with a single sentence shatters that idea. He refuses to have an origin. He doesn't have existence. He is existence. He is the first cause that was never caused. The thought from which all ideas are a reflection. The heartbeat from which all hearts are an echo. The truth before the first word was ever spoken. If this truth is already shaking something inside you, if you're seeking more revelations to ignite your soul, this is the only time I will ask. Subscribe and turn on notifications for our channel, because what comes next is even more profound. But this powerful name leaves us standing before a new abyss. How can such a being, whose very essence is eternity, even interact with us, who are trapped by the ticking of a clock? Stay with me. Because we are about to break out of the prison of time. For us, time is a tyrant. It is the relentless tick-tock that pushes us forward. We live trapped in a single dimension, the now. The past is a ghost we cannot return to, and the future is a fog we cannot see. Our life is a narrow hallway with only one direction. But God is not in the hallway. He is the architect who designed the entire building, who sees every room, every corridor, every entrance, and every exit from a perspective impossible for us. And this is where science, unintentionally, kneels before theology. The greatest physicists of the 20th century discovered a truth that the prophets wrote about millennia ago. The universe had a beginning. At the Big Bang, it wasn't just matter that was born. Time itself was born. Time isn't the eternal stage where the play happens. Time is part of the set dressing. And if time was created, then its creator, by definition, must exist outside of it. Imagine your entire life, not as a line, but as a finished tapestry. God doesn't see your memories fading, nor does he wait anxiously for your future. He beholds the entire masterpiece in a single, eternal gaze. The first word you ever spoke, the scar on your knee, the tear you shed last night, and your final breath. For him, it is all happening now. Think about the moment from your past that weighs on you the most, the one you wish you could change. Now, imagine you could travel back and whisper in your own ear, "You are not alone. An eternal grace is holding you, even here." What would change in you knowing that? Share that feeling in the comments. And this eternal truth pulls us toward a steel trap logic, a conclusion so inescapable it shook the greatest thinkers in history. Think about it. Everything that exists is the effect of a previous cause. You exist because of your parents. The planet exists because of cosmic forces. It's an endless chain of this caused that. But that chain cannot go backward forever. If it did, the first domino would never have fallen. The universe would never have started. You and I should not be here. For existence itself to be possible, there must be, at the very beginning of everything, a cause that was not caused by anything. An unmoved mover who set everything into motion. A being who doesn't need a beginning, because its very nature is to exist. That being, that uncaused cause, that bedrock of reality, is what we call God. This isn't a leap of faith into the void. It is the solid ground that reason forces us to stand on when we stop running. Have you ever stopped to observe the intelligence written into creation? From the spiral of a galaxy to the wing of a butterfly. What detail in the universe makes you feel that we are not here by accident? Now, all this cosmic knowledge is useless if it cannot bring peace to your heart, right here and right now. Intellectual knowledge is just the map. Experience is the territory. So I invite you to a practical exercise, an anchoring technique that mystics and prophets have used for centuries to silence the world's noise and hear the voice of the eternal. This isn't just relaxation. It's a recalibration of your very being. If you feel safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. First, take a deep breath, filling your lungs not just with air, but with this present moment. And as you exhale, don't just release the air. Consciously expel the tyranny of the clock. Expel the anxiety for a tomorrow that doesn't exist yet. Expel the weight of a yesterday you can no longer change. Feel how that mental noise, that carousel of urgencies, fades into the silence. Now, with your mind clearer, I want you to visualize before you not a simple rock, but the very foundation of reality itself. It is an immense presence, made not of stone, but of pure existence. It has no beginning and no end, has no flaws. It is the unchanging being. Feel its powerful silence, a silence that is not empty, but full of everything that is, was, and ever will be. This is the reality of the I Am. Now, anchor your awareness to that presence. Feel how your being, which often feels like a leaf swept up in the storm of life, merges with this eternal rock. Feel the fear dissolve, because fear can only exist in the uncertainty of time. Feel the anxiety fade, because anxiety is worry about a future that, from this perspective, is already held. You are no longer a fragile piece adrift in chaos. You are part of the anchor. You are being held, not by your own strength, but by the force that holds galaxies together. This feeling of peace isn't just an emotion. It is the natural state of your soul when it remembers where its true safety lies. Remain in this certainty. Allow this eternal peace to recalibrate your nervous system, shifting from survival mode to absolute trust. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes. That peace is not a trick. It is a fragment of eternity that you just touched. And it is a sanctuary you can return to every time the world tries to convince you that you are fragile and alone. Today we have done so much more than answer a question. We have opened a crack in the wall of the temporary to peer into eternity. We have dismantled a doubt to find a foundation-shaking truth. You are not a cosmic accident adrift in the void. You are an idea born in the mind of an eternal, self-existent being who loved you before time even began. But peering through that crack is one thing. Learning to live in that light is another entirely. The awe of today can become the doubt of tomorrow if we don't anchor it into our daily lives. The world, with its noise and its fears, will try to drag you back into the prison of time. If you feel that this video was not an accident, if you feel a deep calling within you to go beyond just understanding and to start being, then this is your next step. It is not an obligation. It is an invitation to continue the most important journey of all, the journey back to your eternal origin. The link to begin your true transformation is waiting in the description. This understanding is only the beginning of what you can discover. To fully immerse yourself in your connection to the divine, I have prepared a complete playlist for you. Click right here on the screen to start the marathon and continue your awakening. I'll see you there. And stick around because YouTube's algorithm is intelligent. It knows what your soul is searching for and will guide you to what you need to see next.